Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another edition of AUHSD Future Talks. I'm your host, Superintendent Matsuda of the Anaheim Union High School District. And as our listeners and viewers know, that this show is all about jobs and careers. And we've been so blessed to have so many amazing partners from the corporate world, the nonprofit world, our very own teachers, but most importantly, what it means to our students. And I'm really proud of introducing an amazing senior, Jade Monette, who has won a district-wide contest, a challenge to make sense out of this pandemic. So Jade, would you like to say hi to everybody?
All right, thank you, Michael. Hi, everybody. I'm Jade. I am 18, as Michael said. I'm from Loara High School. I grew up in Anaheim, California. And I submitted to the We Rise Together challenge, and I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You know, Jade, when I first saw that video, it's about a 3 to 4 minute video that sort of captures the stories, not only of your personal story, but so many of our students who initially were depressed and isolated. Can you just kind of walk us through some of the video and what really, like, I think the reason why you were selected by the students, there was a student panel who conducted this challenge, and then it was district wide, so we had thousands of students participate. But I'm sure what captured them as well as us adults, right, was your message of, making sense of this and making yourself into a sort of a better person out of all this, out of this trauma. Because there's two ways we can go. We either get depressed and continue to spiral, or we get ourselves up and do something. So can you take the audience through from the very beginning of the video? Where were you?
Okay, so I was just when the pandemic started. I said in the video, I had not a very good job. I didn't have a car. And I just kind of felt not at the level I wanted to be. So I was like, okay, it's time to step it up. I want to do something different. I want to make my life better than what it is now. And so I got a new job. I worked myself up. And then next in the video, I was in class and economics, and we were learning about stocks, and it really sparked my interest in the stock market and business-wise.
So Jade, you had a teacher. And I like the way that you called her out in a good way.
Yeah.
Ms. Davis, because she, we have a number of teachers now that are into this applied learning. They really want to, take the learning and apply it to real world. And she developed this stock market challenge, right? And from that activity, you decided to go deeper.
Yes, I did. So thank you, Miss Davis. Yes, that really helped me a lot. I went in, I was on YouTube. I was on the internet searching up how to, how stocks work and stuff, because I want to have a stable financial future. And I think everybody should get into that if you want to, but I think it's a really important thing to have. Yeah.
So you learned about a specific type of investment.
Yes.
Which is called, go ahead.
I learned about the Roth IRA, which is a non-taxable investment account for retirement. And I just thought it was a good idea, and I learned about it. And I'm still learning about it. I'm not perfect at it yet.
And when you turn 18, you actually open an account.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I turned 18, I was 17 at the moment. I was like, oh, I can't open one yet. I mean, you can open one under your parents, but I didn't want to do that. I was going to be 18 anyways. So I waited till I was 18, and I opened it right on the day.
And then you decided, okay, I'm going to try to, make some money and start a business. And that's what you did next. You actually started a business. Can you tell the audience about that business and what you learned from that? Okay.
So yeah, I had an idea of starting a little business. I've always been into business. So I started making a website on Shopify, actually. And so I paid for a little membership. It's not that much, but I paid for it. And then I started designing my website. I was learning every day. I was adding to it every day. And so I got my products on there, and then I started putting it on like my social media, like advertising it without like paying for advertising on my social media. And then I was getting into like real advertisements. We use paid ads and put them on Facebook and put them on, Google SEO and stuff, like ads on Google. And for some reason, like my computer, it just wasn't working. It wasn't working for me. And I was like, okay, if this is not working, I'm not going to spend my time and money on it. I could just push it aside. I could do something else. But I learned something very valuable from it. I learned how to build a website, how like business with getting shipments and how like money processing works. And I didn't take the negative side of it, like, oh, I failed, I didn't get to finish my website, I didn't build my business. But I learned that, oh, I know how to make a website now. I can apply that to like future businesses. I know how to build a website, I know how to list things. And so that's really important. But I didn't take it as like a loss for me.
So then after you learn how to build a website and learn the basics about starting a business, then you turned 18, you got a little bit of money from your parents, but you had been saving all of this from you call it a crappy job that you had, but then you decided, hey, I'm going to do something. I'm going to buy my first car. And then what did you decide to do?
So I wanted to turn my car into an asset, which is something that puts money into your pocket. So I took my car, the day after I got it, I applied for Postmates, Instacart, and DoorDash. And I was like, oh, I have a car, might as well make money with it. I have car payments every month. I could use some extra money, So I signed up for those. I started doing them, and I like it. I like going shopping, and I like driving around. So I thought it was a pretty good little side hustle, fun thing to do to make extra money. So that's what I do with my car.
It just, the story is pretty incredible because you, each time in, the last year, I mean, you keep on getting yourself up and moving forward and making lemonade out of lemons, right? So much of life is about that. So you, now that and on top of that, you've developed a hobby on top of everything else. And can you tell us a little bit about that hobby?
Yeah, for sure. So my hobby is background acting. It's super easy. Anybody can get into it, really. You don't need any classes or anything. My stepdad is an actor. He just got me into it before the pandemic. And I did one show. It was really fun. You meet new people. You learn about the industry. You learn how to do a little bit of acting, somewhat. And it's just a really fun way to get out there and try new things. And I waited till the pandemic was over to start again. I got one show, and it was really fun. I enjoy it. So I'm thinking about doing more soon. I'm going to sign up for like a membership and start doing it more often. But yeah, it's my hobby. I really like it.
So this sort of project was student initiated, right? It was a challenge because we have a group of students that are trying to engage other students, right? And to sort of make sense about the pandemic. Can you tell us how you found out about this challenge?
Okay, so kind of funny. I was just scrolling through my emails and I saw the name of the challenge, We Rise Together. It sounds pretty nice. We Rise Together, And I clicked on it and I saw challenge. I saw like the words individually, like summarizing. I saw challenge, TikTok, videos. And I love making videos, editing and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I like challenges. And I'm like, oh, I'll try this. And then I was kind of just sitting in my bed, subconsciously thinking to myself, well, how would I start this video? How would I make it cinematic? Because I love cinematic stuff. And it was just kind of popping into my head. And I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. And then I went out and filmed what I was thinking of, filmed it. And then I just continued it from there because I liked it so much. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'm going to just finish the video. And that's how I found out about it. Just scrolling through my emails.
So what did your parents think when you there was like probably hundreds, if not thousands of submissions, and the students committee selected yours out of everybody?
My parents were very surprised. Coming from the person who made the video, I would, everybody would say, oh, it's not that much. It's not that crazy, but supposedly it is. But they really enjoyed it a lot. They were really surprised of what I can do. And I was very grateful, very thankful.
Do you think that an assignment like this or a project helpful for students to kind of make sense of this pandemic and to grow from it?
Yeah, I think it really is. It brings people's thoughts out there, you know? They could do whatever they want with the video. They can put all their emotions into it without being judged in a way of like someone like being next to them. You know, they can create what they want to create and tell everybody how they feel. Because I feel like everybody can really tell you how they feel through camera better than like in person, I would say. So I think something like this is really, really nice and helpful.
Jade, you know, some people have called this whole year as a lost year. It's learning loss. When I saw your video, I said to myself, I don't think so. I think this young lady has shown us all that it's not a lost year. What do you say about that?
All right, so you kind of have to have the right mindset. Like it really isn't a lost year. You're inside, you're by yourself. I would say you're not around friends, so you have time to focus on yourself. I've decided to build myself, learn new things. I love learning new things so I can apply it to different things in my life, you know? And I think it's really important that you don't bring yourself down in times like these when everything else is already brought down. You don't want to put negative thoughts in your mind. You want to be positive so you can put your best work out there. And I think it's really important that you don't take failures as a failure, because failures is the best learning, I would say, learning thing to learn from. Is the best thing, because when you fail, you most likely never do it again, never do it wrong again. You learn what you can do better. So failure is the top learning tool, I would say.
You know, when you study history, right, and the Great Depression and World War II, it's hard, you know, as an 18-year-old to really think about, wow, that's like my great grandparents. But many historians call that living through the Depression and World War II a trauma that actually made a generation of strong people, strong Americans. Because you look at the 50s and 60s, I mean, that's when America had arguably the greatest economic growth ever. Do you think that the pandemic is going to kind of do the same thing to your generation in terms of unleashing a lot of energy and building a lot of resilient young people who are going to invent a lot of things like you're doing in terms of jobs and careers?
I think yes, because already technology and how businesses and stores work now, it's so much more technical, so much safer, I would say. And people have really, I've seen on the internet, people have come up with so many things over the pandemic, and because it's just like a learning experience. You have as more time to spare, so you learn more. I believe that our generation is getting more, I would say, entrepreneurial, honestly. I've seen it a lot on social media, and that's because everybody wants to break free from the 9 to 5. You know, they want to like do something on their own. They don't want to be controlled by a boss. But I think this pandemic really helped our generation be stronger, like mentally and physically, but mentally stronger, because just like if you get hurt, break a bone, your bone grows back stronger, or you get sick and then like a vaccination, your body goes through what it goes through and you get fixed and you get stronger. And I think the same thing applies for your mind and the pandemic.
And you plan to continue your journey at the community college and major in business and learn, and I'm sure you're going to invent new businesses, and we're going to hear more about you. We are so proud, Jade, on behalf of our 30,000 students, right? You are leading the effort to rise together with our young people. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to you, Jade.
Thank you so much, Michael.